On the air. Oh,
I'm back.
To the 58th Quest podcast. Tonight we have a special panel on. It's gonna be an interesting night, but we also have a special guest tonight, and I'd like to introduce him. His name is IcedTivo. What is up, dude?
What's up? Yeah, I really have to come up with a YouTube intro, but yeah, hey, good to be here. It's my third time, so let's do this.
Third time's the charm, right, dude?
Hopefully.
Oh, hey, turn off your phones, people. Come on now. I just heard the but our special panel for the evening consists of some of my next brethren. Xbot448. What is up, dude?
What's going on, people? It's the Xbot448, and yes, we are taking over Quest. Are we taking over? Or are we working together? Is it a collaboration? Okay, we are taking over next podcast, people. I mean, Quest podcast. Damn it, I screwed it up. Yo.
You screwed it up. What's wrong with you, man? Come on now.
That's what I know. I talk too much. That's when I get that freaking hook from the side of the stage. So, yo, what's going on, people? I can't wait to talk about that glorious looking God of War PS4. Let's do this.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. I don't know if he's back yet, but Predator, we also got him in here tonight. What's up, man?
I'm here, man. Happy to be on, coming off the bench again, as always. So, got some nice topics going on today, man. But it's been a busy gaming day.
Dude, it's been a busy.
We lose Otter.
Yeah, you like just cuts off.
It's crazy, man. And then just today, like the past couple hours, there's been like a ton of stuff, like Nintendo Direct and all that crap. It's just been.
Yeah, I'm still trying to catch up, man. But good to be here, man. Happy to be here with you guys again.
Yeah, definitely, man. We're gonna get to our one and only panel member. Well, second, there's two panel members, me, myself, and
he quickly becoming the most reliable panel member on Quest podcast.
It is true. Yeah, it is true. So what is up, dude?
I am here. The rest of the panel can't handle it every night, but I show up. So here I am. I'm holding it down for Quest podcast when you got all those other random ass motherfuckers showing up out of nowhere next and shit. But I'm gonna try and hold it down for Quest for Bane's a remix in their honor, because I don't know where the hell those motherfuckers are at. So here we go.
Definitely. So like we always do every week, we like to start out with what have we been playing this week, and I'm gonna start out with our special guest, IcedTivo. What have you been playing, man?
Well, last time I was here, I was telling you about the Resident Evil challenge me and Iceman were doing. So we got through 5 and 6, and we're working on Revelations. And I've also been playing Assassin's Creed Origins and recently Gears, of course. So yeah, that's it for now. Nice,
man. Nice. And Xbot, what have you been playing, man?
Let's see. I started playing Oxenfree yesterday. I gotta say, I don't really like the art style, but the story is like driving me to keep going because it's kind of like a sci-fi, like paranormal type thing, and that's right up my alley. Other than that, Forza Horizon 1. The story. I hear. What was that glorious voice? Let's see. Forza Horizon 1, X Enhanced, Split Second. I'm gonna be diving into Darksiders, War Mastered Edition, but I didn't get a chance to do that yet. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow night after Crossfire. There's probably a couple more, man. I'm trying to think, but that Oxenfree is kind of taken like my mindset for the past 2 days or so. It's really cool. A lot of dialogue though, man. I don't know. There's not a lot of actual gameplay in that, but the story just keeps me going forward, man. That is all.
Otter.
Hello. And on that note,
what have I been playing? Let me see. I've been playing a little bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance and the Hunt Showdown on PC and Crysis. I've been trying to catch up on Crysis 3, so I haven't really played that franchise. So that's about it. That's all for me.
Dude, how are you liking Kingdom Come? By the way, is it growing on you more or?
It is as I get further in the game, and things start opening up for me a little bit, because like some of the stuff was really difficult until you level your character up. Like this,
Oh, there we go.
There's Otter.
Jeez, man, I lost.
Don't worry, man. We had it. It's all right.
I lost connection.
Go eat a bologna sandwich. It's all good. You come back, we'll be in the topics, man.
Did we talk about Pred?
Yeah, I was going through it right now. He was asking me a little bit about how I was liking Kingdom Come.
Dude, I'm a little jelly when it comes to Pred. He gets to play Hunt Showdown, and I just don't have a computer that can run that game. Yo.
Man. It's a decent game. I mean, I hope they have a lot more content that's coming to it, but what I've played so far is enjoyable. It just kind of reminds me of PUBG when it first came out. It's really broken, so really glitchy, but it's still fun.
Did you play the night map yet?
I haven't because I don't have any. I'm not really big on PC gaming, so I have to get in there with someone I know how to play with. So, but most of the people I jump in with a bunch of randoms that either don't talk or don't communicate or just go off and do their own thing, and I end up following them. But I want to save that night map for somebody I'm really like. I know Brutal plays Brutal Night from the console corner. He's from the console corner, so he plays on PC. I've seen him online. Me and him just haven't been able to link up and play together. So,
all right, man.
I hope that game comes to console eventually. That's all I gotta say.
Fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah, definitely, man. So Leah, what have you been playing, dude?
I'm gonna be the jack of all trades here. I was playing League of Legends, wasting my time. Don't play that game, kids, if you haven't already. I was doing a Nuzlocke challenge on Pokemon X. I just finished that up. Then I was trolling in the game deals on Xbox, and I played some piece of crap game called World 2 Hunting Boss. It was only $2. I shouldn't expect it too much, but I got 1,000. I got 1,000 Chivos for it. So all right, cool. Like as soon as I was done, I installed that shit right away. It was pretty garbage. And the other thing I'm about to finish up, Ages of Man. That was another game on sale. That's actually pretty fun. So
nice, man, nice. So me,
I forgot to say Crackdown. By the way, I forgot. I put a bunch of hours on Crackdown too. Go ahead, man. My bad.
What are you doing, man?
Dude, I gotta give Crackdown its proper respect.
Yeah, I've just been playing. I've just been playing mostly just Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild,
Crackdown.
man.
He's been playing Crackdown.
No, I haven't been playing. I got Game Pass and was gonna try out some games, and I haven't really tried out any games yet, but I'm gonna probably do that tonight or tomorrow or something this weekend. But let's get into our topics for the evening. So Fortnite,
let's go.
A versus mode that pits you against pits 5 teams of 20 people against each other. What do you guys think of this? I know they did a 50 versus 50 like pit against each other. Are you guys interested in Fortnite now? I mean, I know it's a limited time mode. It's not going to be around for very long, but are you guys going to go in and play that?
Now I know. Rainbow Six Siege is probably going to get more in terms of that limited edition with a limited edition game mode. I see myself playing more Rainbow Six Siege. I cannot get into Fortnite. I don't know what it is. I know people are talking, 60 frames per second and all that good stuff. But guess what? FPS doesn't make a great game, people. And if Fortnite, if the Battle Royale portion was not free, I don't think you would even have a fraction of the community playing it like they are now. So I'm not really into it. I'd rather play Rainbow Six Siege and their limited edition game mode that's live for about a month. Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Rainbow Six Siege is gonna have the market corner on limited edition mode for right now. But I think Fortnite is just kind of like, because they did that big 50 versus 50 mode. Now they're doing this. I think they're just kind of like throwing shit against the wall, seeing what people are liking, and some of these modes might actually become like some of the main modes because they only got that one mode, so they're putting all their resources in this shit. So I think they're trying to expand a little bit, but they're letting the communities decide where they expand. So it's good. I don't personally play that game. I'm not really into battle royales, but a lot of people like it. So more modes is always good.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Fortnite fan. I don't think I've even downloaded the game, but they're doing a good job of keeping the game fresh, unlike what the guys over at Bluehole are doing with PUBG. So They're adding different game modes and keeping people interested in the game and keep them coming back. So it's very popular right now. Like I said, it's just another game mode for them to add and to keep the hope alive over there.
Hold on, Pred. I gotta defend Bluehole here. You do realize PUBG is in game preview, man. They can't keep coming out with modes. The game's not even done yet on console.
You are correct. However, I'm talking about the console version. It's like really slow to update. Like they have a roadmap. They talked about. I don't want to kind of switch topics to PUBG, but I mean, I know they have a roadmap of stuff they got coming out. But the thing is, like, Fortnite's adding content. It seems like every other month, whereas PUBG, like we're still trying to work on optimization. This game came out in December, so
I got you, man. Well, we got a desert map coming. We have them working on a winter map.
For me,
your bot,
the bot is too hard here.
Dog.
Did we lose the angry otter?
I gotta agree with both of you guys because it's in game preview, but PUBG is its biggest competition right now is Fortnite. So whether they're done with the game or not, they still got to be competing with it. So I think that it is a valid criticism on both sides. But
you know what I'm happy about with Fortnite. This is the thing. I might not be into the battle royale, but I absolutely love the save the world mode. The mode that me and my wife put like $40 down to get that when it first came out, and that is going to be free at least by the end of this year. So at least with battle royale, it built up a community, and they'll be able to go in and play save the world when that becomes free. And when it comes to Fortnite, I see it having a long life as long as they keep supporting it, like Pred said. So that's the positive of it. I just can't get into their battle royale. It is filled with like 11 to 14-year-old kids because it's free, and I can't deal with it, man. I got 3 kids at home. I don't want to have to like face 99 on a map in a game, man. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand that. And it's free to play.
Damn.
All right, Dark. I think what you gotta do is you're gonna have to bounce out and come back in, and then because
we need someone else to take over the hosting. I think because it's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, it seems like that's what's happening right now. Son of a gun, dude.
Guys, as we love to say, in live shows, there are always issues and stuff like that pop up. That's what makes live shows so interesting. And it is now on the angry otter to fix himself. Can he do it?
Need that sound effect now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Where's K Mega when you need him?
I know, right?
K Mega, do a song and dance for us for about 5 minutes. Like, what? Oh God.
So, any other comments on Fortnite? Did we miss anybody who hit you up, TiVo?
Yeah, I think it's good. Like Yukon was saying, that they're just adding it to the game and seeing what sticks. So for fans of the game, if I were a fan of a game, I'd want them to keep coming out with new things to try. And that trend that's going on now, like the limited edition or building a base game up more and adding things to it, I think that's where a lot of games are going to go in the future, like moving forward. So I think it's interesting to watch that and see how, if they do keep that mode, like if it does get popular and they keep it, I think that's a good idea to just see how people react to something and then keep it, as opposed to wait for the sequel and then add it later.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that being. I can see that statement being true. Like, I mean, it does keep a fresh group of people coming back to the game. I know when they did that Predator mode for Ghost Recon, like I hadn't touched that game in a while, and then I jumped back in it and it got popular just because of that. So, yeah, I can see that coming and becoming a thing. But like the thing is, like if you like that game mode and it just goes away, you're kind of pissed,
Yeah.
That's just like with the Rainbow Six Siege, because I played a little bit. I got maybe 3 rounds in it. So there's even more games that I played that I just didn't remember when I got put on the spot. But like that game mode feels very well polished. It still feels like Rainbow Six, like in terms of like hunkering down and defending an area and putting up the barricades on the doors and stuff like that. And it's gonna be gone like next month. So like it's weird that they're coming out with all these kind of like temporary game modes and stuff like that. I feel like in terms of the gaming industry as a whole, I think we're sitting at a point in time where gamers like a couple years ahead of time, like they're going to look back at this point in time and say that this was a crossroads or a turning point within like the console gaming industry. We have companies trying to do Netflix style services for games. We have all these like kind of like temporary game modes coming in. People are comparing a free-to-play battle royale is becoming like a huge kind of like game mode that even like Ubisoft and other companies are looking at in terms of the future. Guys, do you think we're sitting on a point in time where like the console gaming industry is going to like pivot into a different direction?
Maybe.
Anybody?
I mean, it's kind of up in the air. Right now they're trying to push the Game Pass thing. And I wasn't feeling it, but now that the more that I think about it, we're getting close to Sea of Thieves, and I'm like, it's only $10. I might as well dive into that. I know a lot of people are probably thinking the same thing. So, it's going to depend on whether they can make games as a streaming service happen or not, whether and how fast that happens, whether things are going to change or not.
Well, yeah, Xbox definitely said. I think Phil Spencer said within 3 years they're talking about a streaming service with Xbox. As of right now, Game Pass. I mean, you basically pick the games, you download them to your system. So it's like you bought the game digitally. So you're not dealing with any type of like streaming lag or anything like that. It's just that, man, with everything, all the differences this generation, it feels like this generation, people in the future are going to point back at it and be like, that's when everything changed. I don't know. Yeah. That's what I think.
I agree. I mean, we've seen this stuff before with the movie industry, the music industry. Like, there's always comes a time where like changes and then it becomes the norm. Because think about it, 5 years ago, we didn't have like streaming music on your phone. You had to buy it or whatever. Now, so I think eventually we'll just adjust to whatever standard is set.
I got you, man. Well, I do know Pret. I talk to him quite often, pretty much every Saturday. Yo, Pret, do you see what I'm saying, man? What do you think? Yo, do you think this is going to be one of those times in history that people look back on?
We've already kind of started doing that, though. I mean, we went from going strictly physical to like a lot of people now downloading games. We've gone to now a game as a service model. Now it looks like we're going towards this whole, this extra content model where you get, this limited edition contents. As long as the price is right or if it's included in the game, that's one thing. But if they're going to charge me an extra $9 every time they drop a monthly, monthly addition to the game, I think that's a bit overkill. Like that shit should be free. If they're just trying to keep people back in the game, that's one thing. Get the hype back up for the game, that's one thing. But if they're actually trying to profit off of it, like sell it, like, oh, here's this new mode, it's only gonna be good for a month. It's $3.99. I think that's a bit much. I don't want to see it go that direction. But like if it's free, and it's like, like I know Halo does this too. Like they come up with different maps and stuff like that, or different game modes for not really a short amount of time, but like they're new maps they created while the game was in progress of being made, and they add it to the content you already have. It's an additional content. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just a game mode they add to get you back into the game and get the active user base up. So yeah, I can see this mode coming up, but I can also see some greedy motherfuckers coming up and being like, okay, if you want this mode, it's going to be $4.99 and you only get it for a month or 3 months, whatever the fuck it is, and it goes away. That kind of sucks.
I got you. Well, I already had the twins are really into Fortnite in my house, the Battle Royale, and they got these like battle seasons that cost like 950 like V-Bucks to get. And there's like one free season and they'll give you a certain amount of V-Bucks for doing that. But
you hooked on that crack, man. Once they get you hooked, man.
Dude, that's what I said. I was like, damn, so they're ready to squeeze $10 out of you kids like for every like 3 months or whatnot. And I mean, at the end of the day, they charged for like that quote unquote early access to Fortnite in the beginning, which me and OSnaps paid for. But their whole model, I think, is free to play with people spending money on V-Bucks to do these seasons and stuff like that. Rainbow Six Siege, to me, that's the interesting thing. Like, what are they going to do when that game mode is over? I don't know. Anybody Anybody have an hypothesis on what they're going to do with Rainbow Six? Do you think you're going to see that game mode come back? Do you think they're going to have people pay for it to be permanent? That's what I want to know, man.
Honestly, if they make people pay for it, I think it's going to be like it might come down to, you know, like if Pred, from what Pred said, you know, maybe $4.99, you know, like, I mean, I could see people buying that at that price, but also, you know, it's going to be kind of shitty because it's like we already paid $60 for the game. We paid a lot of money for the season pass, and now we're going to have to pay for the game mode. It just seems like it's not a good strategy for, you know, a game like Rainbow Six Siege.
Don't you have to pay for the characters too, or is that just, does that come with these things? You have to pay for each character?
Now it's free. Now they're doing free.
You have to pay for the
stuff.
new characters.
Yeah, you have to pay for the new ones.
The base game characters. I think there's 20 base characters.
Yeah.
I bought them because I've been playing the game for a little bit. But I mean, people who just buy the game today, whatever, they get them for free.
Oh, so
which is cool
in a sense, right?
Yeah, you earn points playing games, or you can spend it with real money, you know, whichever you prefer, whatever. But
that game is fire right now. That Rainbow Six is fire right now, man.
I think the bigger discussion here is, am I willing to pay money for a DLC? Sure. Am I willing to pay money for a DLC that is going to go away in a month? I don't know. Fuck
no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
and then they bring it back 4 months later. You got to pay for it again. No.
That's the kind of thing. That's a dangerous path that we might be walking down. That's something to think about in the future, depending on where they go, obviously. But
yeah, that's true. Since I'm back now, I could probably host a little bit here and there.
Yeah, it's good to hear your voice, man. You're not cutting out or anything. You know,
yeah, I had to switch over my router and do all kinds of stuff to it. So
I didn't want to take over the topic. So I created, like, I listened to everybody and tried to create our own topic there. You know?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. You know, you coming in at a clutch. But I want to kind of talk about. I'm gonna skip one because it's kind of like something I was just like, I don't really want to talk about it. But we're going to go on to talk about Far Cry 5. It's coming out with an arcade mode. I don't know if you guys heard about this. It's basically where you get to build your own levels, and you can create levels from games like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Unity. I think you can even create something from, you can use materials from Watch Dogs, some other Far Cries. I don't think all of them. I think it's only Far Cry 4 and Primal. I don't think 3 you can do it. But what do you guys think of this arcade mode? Is this something that you guys are interested in? I know it's coming with a multiplayer type of aspect to it. Did you guys hear anything about this at all?
For me, I know Autumn is me and you. I know it was me and Remix, because Remix was talking about he hasn't played a Far Cry in a while, and I was talking about I was kind of burnt out by him. I wasn't really interested in this game, but then I saw this new arcade mode combined with all the new DLCs that remind me a lot of Blood Dragon. So I'm feeling a little nostalgia. It looks kind of cool. The only thing that I wasn't happy with is that when they showed off the arcade mode, they showed some pretty generic looking shit. They didn't show anything like they said you can use all the Assassin's Creed stuff, and Watch Dogs. You can use all these different games and put them together, and they showed like a Far Cry level. So I think I'm excited for the idea, but I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on showing it off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, if they're gonna drop the ball like that, is it really true that we're gonna be able to play? You know, utilize all these materials? We kind of have to see that stuff.
I got a really weird idea here, and I want to see if somebody on the panel will. I want to see if I can get an agreement with somebody here. With them, it seems like with this, and I'm just hearing this from you, so I'm taking this. This is spur of the moment brainstorming right now, but it sounds like they're really trying to promote Ubisoft as a whole. Like they're trying to promote, you know, their newest game is Far Cry, so you know people like Far Cry, but then they're letting you build your own maps with Assassin's Creed, with their other titles. It sounds like they're really trying to promote, you know, Ubisoft as a whole. I'm thinking not too far down the line, there might be either a streaming service or an EA Access type service that they are planning to bring out, and they want to get in the consumers' heads that, you know, it's not about just one franchise, but it's all of these. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I can kind of see that happening, actually.
I don't know. Anybody else?
I think it's either that. I mean, there's no reason not to think that. But I think even if we even go even simpler with it, I mean, if you're playing Far Cry 5 and you've never played any of these other games and you got all these random assets, you're like, oh, these stuff looks cool. Maybe I'll go buy this game. I mean, like it could just be as simple as that. But they might smell blood in the water with all these other streaming services and shit. So maybe they're like, let me get some of that money because Ubisoft is they're not I wouldn't say greedy, but yeah, they're greedy as fuck.
They're Activision.
Who knows what they might be doing, but I think it's definitely going to be on that path.
Well, I am definitely putting this together with some kind of like backdoor like YouTuber rumors going on, and they've been going on for about a year now, maybe a little over a year. But ever since EA with EA Access, there's been rumblings that Ubisoft wants to get involved in a service like that. So I'm just kind of putting those things together and molding something that I think might happen.
Honestly, it'd be smart. I mean,
they have enough franchises and games that can do it.
Yeah, I mean, they see EA Access doing it, and they're doing really well with that. And I could see Ubisoft doing it because I mean they have some really good actually. I know it's kind of like a big no to say that, but they have some really good games actually, and they're building upon their games too,
Well, they do. Assassin's Creed 2 was amazing. Brotherhood was great, but I don't know. Like if they think about doing this, and Dark, I don't know. I think you would probably go off on this. Like if they think about doing this, like you already had EA Access do a service, a monthly paid service. You got Game Pass here. Like how much is going to be too much though? Do you think if Ubisoft comes out with it, that would be the one that people are like, well, I'm already spending like, $30 a year over here, $10 a month over here. That one's just too much for me.
Well, I think it's really going to have to come down to what's your preference. If you really want, to play Ubisoft games, then get Ubisoft. If they come out with a subscription service, if you want to play EA Access stuff, then get that. Not everybody's going to get all these, subscriptions. You're just going to have to pick and choose which ones you want. And if you get upset about that, then that's on you. Go get a job that pays you more or something. I don't know.
I'll say this: I'm not familiar with the arcade mode for the game. I haven't really done a lot of research on it, but because I'm still kind of on the fence with Far Cry 5 in general. But the whole them getting in the service program, like how EA is, I agree with that. I think that's something they should do, or at least should look into at some point in time. But I can see them okay, EA's with Microsoft, would Ubisoft kind of strike a deal with Sony or another console or something like that, just kind of get some money off the side off that. I could see that becoming the next war. We have EA over here, but we have Ubisoft over here on this console. So I do agree
that would be interesting.
It would be, because then you start. The thing is, what I think should happen, which if I was the head of one of these companies, is specifically Microsoft, try to get this involved with Game Pass. Get these games added with Game Pass, so they're there for the consumer, and jump on it before that. What I just said before happens. It becomes a bidding war for Ubisoft's games to becoming, to your console exclusively as a service-based, system situation. So, back on the arcade mode, I haven't looked at it. I haven't touched it. I haven't paid too much attention to it. There was so much other news dropping this week that one to the wayside. So,
yeah, I mean, it was definitely just a topic that I was like, it's a smaller topic. I figured we would just throw it in there. But I mean, if you guys don't have any other thoughts on that Far Cry 5 arcade mode, I'd like to move on to something that Leo brought to our attention this evening. If we want to take it away, Leo, go ahead.
Well, there's another kind of a push to blame video games for the violence that happened in America. We're not going to get political here. I think we all agree that video games don't promote violence. I mean, they promote violence like hell, no doubt about that. But I don't think that we all have any school shooters in our conversation right now. So I think that's bullshit. The science proves against it. But they had they had a big meeting at the White House today where they had a couple executives from video game companies. I think from the parent company Bethesda, guy from Take-Two, and another guy. And then there was a bunch of anti-video game journalists.
A guy from Take-Two? A guy from Take-Two was at that meeting? No.
Yeah. So it was kind of a hodgepodge of random video game people, and then it was all a bunch of anti-video gaming journalists and speakers, and then they showed this sizzle reel of a lot of violence in video games, and you can all guess what kind of games were in that. There was, of course, the famous No Russian level from Modern Warfare 2, where they just mow down the entire airport. And there's
pulling games from last generation, huh?
Well, I mean, if you're looking for violence in video games, it doesn't get that much worse than murdering like 1,000 innocent people in an airport.
I gotta ask, did they show my favorite scene in GTA 5 when Trevor has that chick chick in the kitchen? No,
it was about a minute and a half. They showed a lot of Call of Duties. They showed some Fallout 4, which I thought was really random, and a couple GTAs. But it didn't get too specific. But it was a lot of gun violence. But I feel like they're trying to blame video games again. This comes around every so often.
Of course they are.
I'm hoping it doesn't go anywhere, because the last time it went somewhere, we get a lot of pressure, and people who are younger, they kind of get screwed out of games. Everyone in this call is probably fine from any extra legislation, but younger people who, maybe they're 16 and they want to play a more mature game, they might get cut off. I hope it doesn't kind of lead to that kind of stuff, but it might. What do you guys think?
That's crazy, dude. I gotta say, when it comes down to it, we talked about this on Coffee Casuals and Consoles this past Wednesday, and my whole thing is the ESRB, the ratings are absolutely fine. They finally got that all ironed out and everything like that. Now it's up to, in terms of like the older kids and stuff like that, like I don't feel like there should be, any restrictions. I feel like it's up to the parents of the kids. Now, I'm a dad, right? So I have 10-year-old twins. There's certain games that I won't let them play. All right. And for parents out there, it's clearly marked either, in the digital store or on the physical copy, exactly what that game has in it and what the audience, who's intended to play this game. So it really comes down to the household. And I feel like whenever you get politics in on this, politicians are always looking for a scapegoat to kind of take the burden off their own shoulders and put it on somewhere else. So I feel, man, you have a right to be concerned, because they will do everything they can to kind of pass the buck somewhere that it doesn't belong, man.
And I think that's the most concerning thing, is that they're bringing this up now, and it seems like this is the only administration that has kind of done this in a long time.
It's the administration that's in charge right now. Whenever it comes up, man. But yeah, you can easily say that the past administration, when there were shootouts in the schools and stuff, I heard slight rumblings.
Yeah,
but you never had it to where it's like, all right, we have to have a meeting at the White House. Everybody in the Oval Office, guys, let's talk about this video game violence.
Right, which is concerning, because it might turn out to be something bigger than what it really needs to be. I think, like I was talking about it on shout out to Triple Cup Chuck. I was talking about it on the Vibration podcast last night. These people, they're so quick to judge, they're so quick to blame video games and movies and stuff that, they don't think about the bigger picture, and that, these people have mental illnesses and they need help. These people do, if you're going to go out and you're going to think about going to kill somebody, there's probably something wrong with you, and you need some help. You might, and I'm not talking about like a soldier who went to war, or something like that. That's a different story. I'm talking about somebody who just decides, hey, I'm gonna go kill somebody because that's what I want to do today or whatever. I think those people, we need to find a better solution than blaming video games on that kind of thing.
In my opinion, without getting too political here, like, to me, this is a society problem. You know what I'm saying? If you look at how many school shootings and everything like that, and how many kids with you said mental illnesses, like in society, especially in this country, it has become the thing to medicate an illness and not cure it. You know what I'm saying? And there's things within the society that politicians are responsible to kind of move the buck forward and keep things going in terms of, research and development for cures and all this good stuff. But they were quick to pass the buck. I feel it's more of a society issue than anything else. And video games don't really need to be in there right now.
Yeah. And that's true too. Cause I mean, our society has become more, withdrawn towards people, and instead of looking for the signs of people who need to be heard, they kind of turn away and don't, say anything or don't do anything about it. It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah. And the science is all there. I mean, there's tons of, they've been doing studies on this shit for decades because they've been trying to blame video games since they were fucking invented. So there's plenty of research that anyone could look up right now. You just Google it. I Googled a few before I came on here just to refresh myself on it, and there's plenty of evidence that shows that there's no correlation. So I mean, it should be at the end of the story, but they're always looking for a scapegoat. It was rock and fucking roll back in the day, and then it was TV and it's evil, and so it's always going to be
these same video games are in other countries. And I saw someone post this on Twitter, so I'm stealing their idea. But these same video games are in other countries, and other countries don't have these problems.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
that's a great point. Right
conversation right there. I'm sure Canada has all kinds of murders on video games going on up there, and they seem not to have these issues, and all over the world they have that kind of thing. So it doesn't seem like they're thinking it through, but as we've been saying this whole time, they're not thinking it through. They're looking for something to blame. They don't want to change laws or whatever, and we don't have to agree on what laws they should be changing, but they're definitely looking in the wrong spot in this section.
Yeah, I mean, games don't kill people, guns do. So, they'll start there. I'm not trying to get political and advocate against gun control laws and stuff like that, but obviously, there's got to be something done in that aspect of it. Don't blame something that for myself as a young kid, video games is what actually kept me out of trouble.
Right.
My friends out running the streets, I was in my room playing, Madden or Joe Montana football or something, and they were out doing dumb shit. So you can't blame something that keeps kids locked in the house playing, out of trouble on video games. Like that's not how it works. Like kids are doing dumb shit because they had shitty parenting and they have access to things they shouldn't have access to. So, control that. Like parents need to take ownership of their kids and, take responsibility for their kids' actions and try and teach them to do better shit instead of letting them run around and grab guns and go shoot up the school. Because most of these kids that are doing this shit have issues at home.
Right. Exactly.
It has nothing to do with video games. They have issues with their parents and something going on in their own household. So
I'd like to hear what TiVo has to say on this. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, yeah, I agree with. For me personally, I grew up in the projects, and my mom bought me video games to make sure I stayed in, and I wasn't exposed to the outside. All the other stuff that goes on. But you guys are right; it is a societal thing because every time a new medium is introduced, it gets blamed for something. And right now, video games, I believe they make more money than movies, so it is a bigger target. And the problem we're also having is that the people in charge are older people. Like they're out of touch. Like you can't be old and still be in touch. Like it's really hard to do.
They can't use the internet, right? And they're trying to play video games.
Exactly. So they believe that us playing these games like desensitize us. So it makes us feel like, oh, so there's no consequence if I do this. And the people who have those issues, whether they would have to play the game or not, or listen to a song or watch a movie, that impulse is still there. So it's like you guys said, it's just a way to deflect from whatever issues they're facing, whatever it may be. The people in charge, like it's like, oh, let's just talk about this. But that meeting might be a good thing because if they are meeting with the people in the industry, they might be able to explain to them, how it works. And like they have their own data as well to show, hey, look, we sold this many million copies of GTA and like there's no correlation there. So that might actually be a good thing if they're meeting with people who are actually in the industry and can give them some kind of insight to, how things really are.
You know, TiVo, it's cool when you talked about like the people that they could possibly talk to the politicians. And here's what I feel about that list of people that they met with. It feels like they were handpicked. Like they picked Bethesda because Bethesda will be a little more understanding, and they can say, well, we were able to work with these guys from Bethesda. I think they picked Take-Two so they can show that they went head to head against the people of GTA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they handpicked each of these people for this meeting for their own agenda, as opposed to actually coming up with an understanding or any type of solution within this issue, man.
Well, last time they met, they had an issue with the video game industry. It was with the Clinton administration, and the ESRB came out of that. Yeah. So they got a rating. So it might, you know, I don't know. I just feel like this is just a momentary thing where like this is all going on. It's like, hey, let's shift the attention here so people could stop looking at whatever the real issue might be, like mental health
going on. Yeah, like that really affects like the youth out there when they look at the news. And
exactly.
Stuff
like I think that mental health is the biggest issue here overall, where the media is, or guns or anything. It's like because people don't see it. They don't see what someone's dealing with in their head. So it's like, it's not real to them. So it's been ignored for a while. Like I graduated with a bachelor of psychology. So like I've seen that. Like I know how people feel affects them. So I think that's what they should be focusing on more. How do we help people with issues, as opposed to let's stop people playing games or watching movies. Like it's been going on for years. And like you guys said, everyone has access to the same games. Why is it that it's only happening here? That means that's not the issue.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, it's a bigger issue right now, and it, you know, it's gonna die down eventually, but you know, it's hopefully nothing too bad comes out of this, or nothing, you know, comes up where they're like, hey, you know, we're going to take away, we're going to do what Australia does with your video games, you know, just take out certain parts of it or whatever. You know, I just hope that never happens, you know, because I mean, I still like my violent video games, but you know, I'm not out there thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna go kill somebody because of this game, you know, or whatever.
Yo, Dark, here's the thing, like the shooting in Florida, and all of a sudden it was a group of kids who came up and really shouted back at Capitol Hill, and did, you know, they're doing their best to make a change, where other people would just, after a couple of days, it would just roll over. Politicians would get their way, everybody, yay, NRA and all that good stuff. Now, the great thing about this country is this country wasn't founded that our government governs us or controls us. It's that we control our government. So if they try to do stuff like that, there's always things that people as United States citizens can do to stand up against it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we would have to go out. If we really feel like this is our right, and they're trying to take away our right, and they're trying to change things and do a disservice to the community, then we got to go out. We got to vote for the proper people. We got to, basically get our voice out there. And there's things that we can do to actually be heard and to actually get that, like, get any of those situations stopped. So that's the cool thing about living in the United States, is we're supposed to govern our government. So, you know, it's going to take people getting off their asses if they decide that they're going to do something crazy here. It's going to take people getting off their asses, walking outside their house and actually doing something about it. Casting
Stop playing video games.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If it's that serious of an issue to people, and what a lot of politicians bank on is the fact that it's like, yeah, you know, we don't want you to do this, but we're not going to go out and do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? So we would have to actually get motivated, go out there and use our rights as United States citizens to make sure that they don't pass anything that, you know, that would pass the buck onto the video game industry for no reason, man.
At the end of the day, it's going to be a freedom of speech thing, and it won't pass. So, I mean, it's just, right now it's they're trying to put the blame on one thing where the blame should probably be put on several other things instead. This is the scapegoat. It's video games and it's the industry and it's movies and music, et cetera, like it's been in the past 10 years. So it'll be a freedom of speech thing. It'll be talked about in the White House for a couple of months. And maybe someone puts a law up on the table, but it will be shot down because it's not constitutional.
Yeah, because then where does it end?
I was gonna say, now is a perfect time to come out with a video game starring Black Sabbath with Ozzy and Tupac and Biggie, all in one completely violent video game, man. Let's get it done, yeah.
With Ozzy biting the head of a bat and stuff.
Perfect time right now, people.
Yeah, but before we move on, any other thoughts on that subject, on that topic? Alrighty, so let's talk about Xbox Inside, guys. There's apparently this is going to be something. This is going to be pretty big. It sounds like it's going to be a big news. It premieres March 10th, which is this Saturday. They're going to be talking about Sea of Thieves. They're going to be talking about PUBG. They're going to be talking about some other things, like some other announcements that are coming down the pipeline. It's going to be on Mixer. It's going to be on Twitch. It's going to be on YouTube, and it's going to also be on Facebook. And it's going to be live at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So that means you guys over there on the East Coast, that's what, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, somewhere around there. What do you guys think about this Xbox Inside? Are you guys interested? Are you guys excited for it? Because I know I am.
No, yeah, I think it's good. Get the news straight from them. No bias one. The negative way. And Nintendo does this right as well with Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a good idea. Gives you YouTubers a run for your money though.
Yeah, I know. Why they pick Saturday? Don't they realize next podcast, man? I'm gonna have to wait on the topics until after that show goes out, and then we're gonna have to talk about it Saturday night, dude.
Which is gonna be really fun because it'll be fresh in our minds. We'll be able to talk about it, man. That's the thing. When they announced it, I was just like, all right, finally, we get something on the Xbox side that I'm actually, I've always been interested in what they have to say, but finally we're getting something official that is, going to be coming from Larry Herb and all those guys at Xbox, and their team. Because usually, to get the Xbox news, I usually look at Xbox On or, the YouTube channels that have the Xbox in it and stuff like that. And it's just now I get to, add on top of that with actual inside stuff from Xbox itself.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important part right there is it's coming straight from Xbox. I'm not seeing it from IGN. I'm not seeing it from, all these other media outlets that are out there. It's coming straight from the horse's mouth. And, one of the things that we've harped on this whole generation was Microsoft's messaging and how they interact with us. Now, I know Phil likes to go to Twitter, and Michael Barr likes to go to Twitter, and they'll post stuff on Twitter sometimes. And
yeah, they just don't like to follow me for some reason. I don't
follow me
because they don't like you, man. That's why.
Dude,
but like him,
name. Come on.
Them, Aaron Greenberg, they're all on Twitter. However, there's no dedicated event, and that's what we've always been asking for. We need something. Not necessarily get on the stage and present everything, but we need somebody to go to, or actually, let me back that up. We need someone to come to us with information instead of us speculating on stuff all the time. And that's been one of the biggest issues this generation with all the rumors and leaks that happened this year. None of them have been talked about from Microsoft's standpoint. It's just us talking about it, and it would be better to hear it from them so we'll know it's true and know what's coming down the pipe versus us sitting here trying to, put pieces of a puzzle together and come up with content for our channels and stuff to discuss. Microsoft needs to feed us that information, like Sony does with their people, and like Nintendo does with their people. Feed us something instead of giving us this oh, we don't discuss rumors. Well, we asked you. It's already out on the news. Everyone else is talking about it. Why the fuck can't you open your mouth and tell us if this is true or not? And they don't want to talk about it. So hopefully they have good content and not just Larry Herb sitting there doing dumb shit and playing video games. They actually have to have information to give us that makes that makes us hyped and excited. So is this a monthly thing or is this a weekly thing now? The whole
That's interesting because I don't even think they even said.
I think it's
what
monthly.
gonna be.
I think it's once a month.
I
Yeah.
thought I heard monthly somewhere, but
Yeah.
Which
and
is
that's
cool.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's more than what we had because, like, you know, we usually had to wait till E3 or, you know, something leaks out, or like, you know, maybe they drop something like they dropped this State of Decay stuff like on us, you know, last minute. But, you know, that's very rare for them because over the last, you know, year, maybe this generation, we never really heard anything from them unless it was a special event like E3 or like, you know, it got leaked like really far out in advance and they didn't want to say anything about it. But it's got to come from Microsoft. And that's what I'm more hyped about is the fact we got a stage now. We know that every month somebody's going to come out and they're going to discuss Xbox news for us. Whereas in the past, it was only happening like once every 4 or 5 months.
Yo, this is why I love talking to Pred about games, man. He is such an intelligent gamer. Dude, you were hitting every nail on the head without saying the one thing that I actually want to say. And this is the perfect answer to the PlayStation experience, depending on what they bring on a monthly basis, man. Now, instead of having that one show per year, you're going to get a show a month where like Pred said, he called Phil, you know, he said he had a long face because he said straight from the horse's mouth right there. And, they're going to bring out the information, the stuff that, you know, pro Xbox gamers, you know, people who love the platform, who love the games and stuff like that. And you're going to give the information to them. This is awesome, man. I can't wait to see the first episode.
I wonder if this was a Matt Booty move. Since he came
it
in.
might be. I mean, I could honestly see that happening. I mean, you know, he's
like, we need to talk about Xbox more. Like, you know, like sitting from the outside, we need to discuss this shit a little more. Let's put some content out there.
It's a great idea.
Doing this before.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, they needed something, man. I mean, you know, I was sick and tired of hearing, you know, like you know, PlayStation having their experience and stuff like that. It's just like, yeah, that's cool, you know, like, but I want to hear what Xbox is going to be doing, you know. I want to hear what you know, and I like Nintendo as well. I know Bot hates Nintendo because it's the Nintablet now.
See, I don't hate Nintendo, all right? I think the Switch is the most powerful handheld on the market right now. That's exactly
the best Wii U 2 out there.
Which is funny because I actually use it as a handheld. So I mean, it's
how dare you?
I know it's blasphemy, isn't it?
People out there on Twitter are going to yell at you. You dock that thing right now, all right? It's a console.
No, I mean, you know, it's just, you know, it's good to see that Xbox is doing something that I think a lot of fans have been wanting for a long time now, and you know, we've just been, you know, we've been. It sounds like they've been listening to us and saying, you know, hey, we need to get something out there, and this might actually be a Matt Booty idea, and that's great. I mean, if this is how he's gonna run Xbox and this is how he's gonna, you know, take control, I'm all for it, man. You know, just giving us more content and more stuff to really talk about.
Oh yeah. I think it's huge, man. Like I said, for how many, like a couple of years now, people have been talking about the PlayStation experience. You know, there's some diehard fanboys out there on social media. It's like, well, Xbox doesn't have that. Look at Sony. And you know, the last PlayStation experience, guys, it was not good, man. In my opinion, it was not good. But at least now, instead of having something once a year, it's something that's once a month. So, can you imagine what they're planning behind the scenes at Xbox if they feel they can do a show once a month and bring new information to the table every month? I mean, they got to be working hard on a bunch of things, you know, kind of like behind closed doors over there in Redmond, man.
Yeah, you're right. And then finally we can stop saying, oh, wait till E3.
I was waiting for that, dude.
And that's the thing, you know, like you said before, you know, I know it's a joke, you know, wait until E3, but that's a lot of times that's what it was like, you know, just waiting until E3 to see what they're gonna have to say and see what's coming down the pipeline. And it's like, it seems like they have a lot more content now, and that's a good thing.
That's it. I ain't got nothing else. Ice, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. No, yeah, I agree with all your points.
Well, I was just waiting to see if Iceman was gonna jump in, or I mean, not Iceman. Sorry, bro. I mean, IcedTivo.
Iceman.
Different guy.
Jump in.
Crash and burn, huh, Math? Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, I said it earlier. I think that it's a good idea. It's good to get the news straight from the horse's mouth, per se. So, yeah, it'll be like refreshing. Like instead of like, oh, sources tell us this or we heard that, like it'll be like, okay, this is official. This has a date, or like we could celebrate. Like if you really like Xbox, like that will be your thing where like you can celebrate that and be like, okay, I'm not gonna hear any. Oh, how sometimes they'll give you the news and then they add a little opinion where it's like snarky in a way. Like you don't have to hear that. So it's like I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, definitely, man. So want to move on to God of War. God of War is
here we go.
Apparently not gonna have any microtransactions. I know Bot really wants to talk about the PS4 Pro Bundle as well, so we're gonna kind of mix those in together.
Dude, I lost 5 subscribers talking about this Wednesday morning.
Really? Maybe we should talk about it because I mean we need all the subscribers we can get, man. No, but yeah, I mean I want to hear you guys' thoughts on God of War not having any microtransactions. What do you guys think about this PS4 bundle? I mean it looks cool to me, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
You guys might want to go first.
I'm excited about God of War as a game. As far as the console goes, I think it's ugly as fuck. I don't understand. But you know what? I will say this: at least they did something. Whereas we don't even get a Sea of Thieves console. We're definitely not getting a State of Decay console because it's only $29.99. But at least they did something, even if it just put a sticker on a gray box. That's something. But I don't know, man. It's like if I had a PlayStation and I was looking forward to getting, I do have a PlayStation. Let me back up. If I was looking forward to getting a custom PlayStation, like I'd probably think twice because like every one of them has been kind of like just blah, Even the controller just is bare bones and basic, It just doesn't look good to me. Like and you gotta think about this. Every special deal they've had this generation, all the exclusive deals they had this year, like with Star Wars and Call of Duty, like all those consoles have looked like shit to me. They have like some people might have liked them, but like the overall census was like ugh. And I don't know. And this is their own game. This isn't like a third-party deal game. This is their own game. You think they went all out on this and they didn't do it?
The only one I could say that actually looked really cool was the Monster Hunter one, and that's not even their own game. That was a third-party game.
Gran Turismo one I think looked okay, if I remember correctly.
Destiny 1 limited edition PS4 to this day, in my opinion, with the gold trim, the map in gold across the top of it. To me, in my opinion, that is the best looking one out of all of them this generation, man.
Yeah, and I think speaking on that, but like the Uncharted one was like it was like nothing. Like it was just
like like a sticker. I won't say sticker, like they just spray painted a face on the side of it.
Yeah, I was just like, really? Like what is this? The color was cool, but I mean like they could have done something with the controller to make it look cool and kind of warrant people to buy it. It was just it was just kind of like okay. But I think the God of War bundle, it looks cool. It like in terms of the controller, like the controller looks cool. I think that little God of War imprint on the.
I think Dark Optimus actually likes it, man. He's trying to find a happy medium here.
I do because you know why? It just
be proud of it. Let people know you fucking like it, man.
Because the axe, dude, on the console itself.
Dude, that is sick looking.
I think it does. Looking. I think it looks sick, and I think the controller looks awesome. with the God of War on the touchpad, I think that looks freaking sick as fuck. And I'm excited to see.
They have runes across the front of the PS4 Pro that I want to know what they're saying. If they actually say something in there, they're when it comes to the axe is a integral part of the mythos and the change in direction to for God of War 4, and I think it looks cool. I think they kind of like they smoothed out and simplified the style a little bit, so this way it'll fit kind of like properly in people's living rooms or bedrooms wherever they have it. But it's showing the new direction of the franchise. And to me, I like the way it looks. And like I said this on Wednesday, I lost 5 subscribers. I'll lose 5 more. I don't even care, man. I will speak my opinion. And the thing is, they're actually putting thought into it now. All right, that's the biggest thing to me. They're not just slapping like a weird silhouette of Drake on the side, on the top of it, or anything like that. There's thought to this one, and for that, man, you got to give them at least some extra points for actually doing something that is that has a little more thought to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the Call of Duty bundle where it was like just.
That was horrible.
A camel paint sticker, you know. And
or what about the Black Ops 3 one?
Like, it's not even the right color for World War II at all. Like, it's goodness. Not the right camo for it at all. So it's just like, wow.
We just lost 5.
Yeah, we did, dude. I mean, we just lost 5 subscribers because we were talking about this damn console. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about the microtransactions. This is God of War not having any microtransactions. The somebody on Twitter asked the director of the game, is there going to be any microtransactions like, you know, outfits or anything like that? And the guy goes, no freaking way.
Nope, paid DLC for everybody. Yeah.
Which I think is smart. I mean, that, you know, this game, it doesn't need it. You know, if it sounds like they're confident enough that this game doesn't need that type of, you know, garbage in its game.
Well, the thing. Oh, go ahead, Tivo.
No, I was just gonna say that when a game doesn't have microtransaction, it makes me feel like I got the whole thing. Like sometimes when there's extra stuff, it's like, oh man, I feel like I didn't get the complete package. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like the fact that it doesn't have any microtransactions. It's like you get what you paid for.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, yeah.
I get that feeling when we have like. We hear about day 1 DLC, or when Destiny 2 wasn't even out yet. We were already hearing about Curse of Osiris. I'm like, all right, so now I'm missing a chunk of this fucking game. You know, microtransactions they're whatever. It's a single fucking player game. There shouldn't be microtransactions.
I was about to say the same fucking thing
as usual. I mean, you know, Shadow of Mordor kind of had microtransactions in a single player game, and they're just kind of there. Like they feel tacked on. They feel like they're there to make money for people, and they feel like they're forced on you. So if this one had it, it would just be bad marketing either way. Whether they're nice or not, maybe make fucking Kratos look like a fucking clown or some cool stuff like that. But you know, maybe it
look like Pennywise.
Yeah, like maybe it'd be something cool that you'd want to buy. But even if it was completely cool, it would look bad for the game. It'd be bad press. So it just makes sense for them not to have it.
I think people would buy it anyway. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Everyone's looking forward to this game anyway, whether you're an Xbox guy or not. Even like I am, and I have a PlayStation. I don't play it a lot, but this is one of the games I got it for. So like, but microtransactions are just that. They're just there for you for cosmetic stuff, and for a single player game, I don't really think it's necessary. And I think they made a good choice by not putting them in the game. I'm sure they're going to recoup some money another way. We just don't know what that is yet, whether it's going to be DLC, paid DLC, you know, something like that coming down the pipe. But I mean, I don't want to put too much emphasis on this because a lot of games don't have microtransactions. They just have DLC, you know, so it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I hope they're not trying to get kudo points for not putting it in there. It didn't.
Oh, they definitely are.
Yeah, they didn't need it though. The game didn't need it, so I don't understand why they're trying to be like, "Oh, we didn't put microtransactions in, so we're awesome."
For now, it's not in God of War for now. But here's the thing: the reason why it's not in there is it's not mainstay yet. But if you look at, you said, Shadow of War, they're one of the like first kind of single player, you know, games to really put that in there and have it implemented. You're gonna see more and more. They're going to be spaced out at first, but you're going to see more and more microtransactions in single player games. I don't really have, it doesn't really bother me to see microtransactions in single player games because it doesn't bother my experience. The only time I get pissed off about microtransactions is when it gives somebody a leg up on me in multiplayer, man. That's when I'm pissed, man. And if the microtransactions in a single player, if you can't like truly get the ending without like paying some type of microtransaction, then that would be something that would piss me off. But other than that, man, I don't really. If you want to spend $300 on one $60 title and you feel like it made your experience better, you know what? More power to you, brother. I really wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna happen over time. Like I said, I feel like we're at that point where the console gaming industry is turning in a different direction. You're looking at streaming services. So, like, imagine if God of War was in some type of service that was on the PlayStation that was like $10 per month or whatever, but it had microtransactions. People wouldn't give a shit about that because you're getting the game, you know, kind of like rented out to you for $10 a month along with a bunch of other games. A lot more people would put money into those microtransactions then because they're saving money on a $60 title right off the bat. Yeah, it's coming, people. It's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, but not in this game.
Now, at least enjoy this one. Everybody enjoy this one because down the road it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But we're gonna move on to our last topic of the evening. We're gonna start talking about State of Decay 2.
Oh yes.
It gets release date and it gets a price point, but I want to talk about the release date. It's May 17th, and the price point. There's two. There's the standard edition, which is $30, and then there's an ultimate edition, which is $50. And what comes with the ultimate edition, you get the State of Decay Year One, the first game, Year One edition for the Xbox One, or for the Xbox One, and then you also get the 2 DLC packs that come with it later on. What do you guys thoughts on this?
Well, sir, first of all, I hate to correct you on your show here, but there's a couple situations here that I have to kind of straighten out.
Go ahead.
The game comes out May 22nd. If you get the Ultimate Edition, you will be able to gain early access, which is May 18th. All right. And then the 2 DLCs, everything like that, you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. I'm excited for this game. Has anybody seen like the 25 minutes of gameplay that they showed at IGN?
Yeah.
Dude, how can you not get excited for that game?
Yeah. Looks like PUBG to me.
Oh my goodness.
A better looking PUBG.
I hate you, Pred.
How dare you, Pred? Damn it.
Oh man.
Dude, hold on. There's certain there's certain facts about this game that like I was listening to them about, like the fact that it has a story in single player. And then when you go into multiplayer, you're actually bringing one of your characters with you from your single player. And you're dealing with your inventory when you go into multiplayer. They have different chests throughout the map that like only you or certain members of your team can actually pick up, open, and grab like the inventory from. There's a lot of like really cool elements to this game that make you want to care about your character, the character that you're building. Because once they turn, if they get bit to a certain extent and they turn, they're gone forever, yo. And I like that about this game, man.
Yeah. Out of the 3 exclusives coming out that we know of so far, Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, and this is the one I'm looking most forward to.
Well, this one.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say for all the reasons that Xbox just said, like it just seems like it's very, like there's circumstance, like not circumstances, consequences to your actions. I like that in video games where it's not just like, oh, I died, whatever. Like you have to think about what you're doing, who you're gonna group up with, where you're gonna go. So I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like Bot said, this game out of all the exclusives seems like the most one that I'm excited for because of the fact that once somebody dies in your party or once you die, you move on to somebody else, but you're part of somebody in your party, but you know, like people can die and they're not going to come back, you know, like in a lot of games.
Somebody from your single player experience, your story experience that you're doing will be gone if they die in multiplayer. That's it. Gone.
Yeah, completely gone. And that we don't see very often in video games. You know, there's only been a few that have kind of delved into that, and they weren't really that great of games. Well, actually, one of them was good because it was the first State of Decay kind of did that a little bit. But the other one I think was Zombie, and that wasn't that's not as good. Not as good of a game.
Dude, you didn't get attached to your character because your character turned into a zombie, and when you became the new like character, then you would just find your old character and grab your bag off their back. Like it wasn't really anything then.
Yeah, it really wasn't. But you know, I think, you know, State of Decay coming out in May, perfect time for this game to come out. I mean, it's smart for them to say, hey, you know, this is our game that you guys are going to play for the summer. You know, like this is the game. And then the price point, man. I mean, that's it sounds like to me that's a good price point. I mean, when the first one came out, wasn't it like $20 or something like that?
Yeah.
When the first one came out,
yeah.
So like, I mean, you know, it might not be AAA like some of us were hoping, but I think, you know, it still has that. It would probably still have that AAA feel that we're used to.
You know, dark. You know, somebody on Twitter, and I wish I could remember who it was because they made an incredible point when it comes to the price point of this game. If you look at this generation, some of the best games this generation have actually been $30 titles. Like Ori and the Blind Forest. I mean, I can go on a whole list of $30 titles that are more than worthy of your money. So I don't see why anybody or free.
Fortnite. I mean,
yeah, I got
it. Yeah, I mean, like PUBG selling well, Fortnite selling well.
Cuphead
did well. Cuphead did well. Ori did well. I mean, like the price should not be an indication of if it's AAA or not. It's I think it's more or less the studio and a little bit of mixture of, you know, the size of the studio is what probably makes it more of a AA or AAA game. But like, we kind of got to get out of that mindset. Like, oh, it's a AA. Like anybody can go out there with a small team and make a great game. Whether it's, you know, supported financially or not shouldn't be the deciding factor. And how much you pay for the game. If the game is good, it's good. It doesn't matter how much it costs you. And for people to complain, you know, like no shit, people were complaining, oh, it's a $29 game, it's gonna suck. Like, really? Like, would you rather? There's a choice for you. Like what's that guy's name? Said there's an option for you if you don't like it. You can get the other edition. You know, that's, you know. So like, I mean, why are you complaining about something being cheaper in a time where? And keep in mind, this game is probably going to be one of those microtransaction heavy games, right? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, if somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but
it's at least going to have paid DLC. So I don't know how many times we've come across with games that have had both microtransactions and paid DLC. Like I don't know.
Yeah, either or you're going to pay for something extra for this game, right? So why not get it cheaper? Why pay $60 for it and then spend another $30 for DLC or another, you know, $10 for microtransactions you're going to buy? It's $30 and it's a multiplayer game. It's on, you know, it's on Windows 10 not crossplay, but play anywhere. Like you're getting a bargain right now. So why are you fucking complaining? Because what happens when people complain?
Because we're gonna buy it anyway, man.
What happened? And then on top of it, it's $10 on Game Pass.
Thank you.
So, like what happens when people complain about shit is people start making changes to shit. So you can complain right now at $30, but keep complaining. This shit's gonna be $60. You'll start getting games at $60 again. Be happy. You're getting a $30 game. Stop complaining. Just be happy you're getting a game for $30. And if you wait a little while, you can get it for $15 because it's gonna go on sale in like 3 or 4 months. Just shut the fuck up. What are you complaining for?
You know,
exactly.
As far as the game goes, I liked it. It looks good. I'm not
polished.
I'm not even joking when I say it reminds me of PUBG. Like just like the environment, the people walking around. The only thing that's different is you're killing zombies. But like when I first saw, I was like, man, if this was like a battle royale mode, I'd be so happy right now. If this was in PUBG, like if this PUBG looked like this and played as smooth as this, but it doesn't. So go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that, you know, this is probably the only exclusive this year that we know of that I'm actually probably gonna actually buy over just doing it and having it in Game Pass. Just because of the fact that it just looks awesome. Like I'm just like, I want to own it. Like I want to actually have it just in case if I ever decide to like be like, oh well, I don't really want a Game Pass this month. I kind of want to just cancel my subscription. And I'm just like, okay, well I'll just get, I'll just probably buy this one instead.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up just because it's $30.
Right, exactly. $30, $50 for the Ultimate Edition. I mean, I'll probably get the Ultimate Edition because you get those 2 bonus DLC packs.
Well, you got to pre-order. You got to pre-order as well, and you get the Preppers pack that comes with that like crazy pickup truck and other things as well, man. So that would be cool. But there was a couple of things I want to say, and I'll start with the kind of like crazier one first, and then I got to ask you guys something that I saw within the gameplay. But first off, with Game Pass, I have people should celebrate a $30 title right now because, again, this could be a pivotal change in the price of games and stuff like that. Because I know we talked about it really briefly on Next Podcast this past Saturday, where with Game Pass, if it's a huge success, there's a lot of people pumping out $10 a month for that subscription service. There is a steady income. There's steady revenue stream going to Xbox and going to the developers where they can put a bigger budget title out there and make the digital copy and the physical copy cheaper. Instead of it being $60, it'll be $30 because they're still profiting with that steady stream of income coming from Game Pass. This could be a thing, people. And instead of talking about games being more money, if Game Pass is a success, there's a good possibility you can actually hear games actually being less money, but still have that same production value. They're still putting in the same amount of money to make the game.
Now, do you guys think that's why this game is $30 to $50 because they're putting it in Game Pass, or?
No, I think it's a plus, but with this game, I don't think so. I looked at the gameplay and it looks really good, man. But when it's all said and done, if they showed that 25 minutes of gameplay and said this was $60, I would scratch my head a little bit, to be really honest with you, man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Even though it's a bigger world, like it's a bigger world this time, it's more things to do.
It's a bigger world.
I mean, you only seen 25 minutes, so it's like.
Yeah. I paid more money for less games, so I'm not gonna complain. I think this is just their new model. If they're gonna start putting things on Game Pass, especially their exclusives on Game Pass, that they have to entice people to actually get either Game Pass or get the game. So if you're going to, you can either just get this game for $10 on Game Pass, play it for a month, never touch it again, or you can spend $60 on it, and they're like, we just rather just have it at $30. That way you'll either buy it or not buy it. They haven't really had a lot of luck with their exclusives this year. Let's put it this way. They have to entice people to come buy their game or play it, should I say. And like I said, this game's going to be probably heavy on DLC or microtransactions anyway. So once they get you hooked on it, like that's what you do, typical street pharmacist, you get someone hooked on a drug and you keep selling it to them. So like
First one's free, 2 for $5, man. Yeah, First one's free, 2 for $5.
So here's a little
That's
bit.
How you grew up in the ghetto.
Yeah. Here's a little
Dude,
bit,
I used to be a street pharmacist. What are you talking about, homie?
Here's a little taste, dog. Here's a little taste. Next thing you know, you're hooked on it. Man, I love this game. This game's actually pretty fun. And then, okay, case in point, PUBG, right? When I first got on that game, I played it on PC first. When I got on Xbox, everybody was on that game. Everybody was like, I was like missing work. Like I'm like, oh, we gotta get on this game, man. People hit me up on Twitter, like, yo, we get into PUBG, and like you were playing it consistently until something better came along, right? So, but for that what 2-3 months, like everybody was playing PUBG on Xbox One X, everybody, and then it's kind of faded away. But you were already hooked, right? If they get you hooked on this game and you're happy with it, and then you take it away after you spend that $10 for the month on it, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna drop another $10 on it, or you're just gonna buy it outright. So they're gonna get you 2 ways. So and I think that's what they're gonna do. I think that's the whole point of this is to get you on the game, get you playing it, get you liking it, and then a lot of people, if they play it for $10, they're like, man, this game's really fun. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the other $50 and get the other pack and get the whole game, and not have to worry about Game Pass, because I mean I have Game Pass. I enjoy it for what it is. Like I'll play some games I haven't played in forever, and I'll dip out. Like, I'm done with this. Let me move on to something else. But I'm not finishing those games. I'm just playing them because they're there, and I remember them. And that's what it does. That's what Game Pass does. It gets you hooked on some of those older games. But then when you get done playing them, you're like, man, there's nothing else in here I want to play.
Yo, so, Pred, people are underestimating Game Pass. Yo, Xbox, they talk about active users, right? Look at the games. They announce day and date their exclusives are going to go into Game Pass. And look at how multiplayer heavy the games that are coming out are when it comes to Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and then Crackdown, that's going to have fully destructible environments when you play multiplayer online. Dude, their active users are going to go through the roof when it comes to these games, man.
Yeah. Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you hooked on that multiplayer, man.
Exactly.
That's what they're trying to do. That's why they're going this game as service model. So, like, once they get you on it, they're going to keep you on it. They
Makes
keep
sense,
you back to it. Because, I mean, imagine like a game like Minecraft. If it came out when it came out on Game Pass, right? You build this incredible world. I don't play Minecraft, so I really don't know everything that goes on. I do. But, like, you build this world, you're playing with your friends, and then all of a sudden, it just that monthly subscription goes away. What are you gonna do?
I'll be checking my couch and everything for change.
Yeah, you're gonna go back and you're gonna get it again, or you're just gonna buy the game outright, one of the two. So they're gonna get $10 off you off the top, and then they're gonna get another fucking $50 off you after that. So, like, boom, that's their $60. So they basically sold you the game, got you involved in it, got you invested in it, and they keep you coming back for more. So
yeah. That's
smart moves.
I mean, even if these people play it for 3 months, I mean, well, that's $30 right there. That's the game.
Yep.
So it's definitely, State of Decay 2 is we got a little bit onto Game Pass, but I mean, State of Decay 2 is just going to be be a fantastic game.
Dark, with State of Decay, I don't know if you saw like the whole IGN thing, but did you see where they talked about how they developed the nighttime? Where most games will use a dark blue in terms of their nighttime, so you could get a chance to be able to kind of see in the distance and everything like that. These developers made it black, made it like you were like there's no street lights or anything like that. You have a flashlight on your backpack, like on the strap, and that's pretty much it, man. Like, you can watching the night gameplay. I can't wait for night to fall, because like you have the moonlight that's shining on you. It looks like I used to go to my uncle's. My uncle had a place in Vermont, right? And it was far away. It was next to a lake, all that kind of like Friday the 13th type stuff. And when the moon was out and everything like that, this game depicts how dark it gets out there without street lights and everything like that. And then you have the zombies that are wandering around and stuck in the houses that you're trying to loot and stuff. This game looks great, man. I cannot wait to play it.
Yeah, man, and I can't wait to get into some co-op with you and Pred here, and maybe even Tivo. Get us some co-op going and just play this game, man. I mean, it's gonna be definitely.
Dude, if you play co-op with me, you got to change your gamer tag to Fishbait, because I'm gonna make you go in the house first, all the time.
You're gonna have to change your name to not King Neutral.
Scummy McGee.
Scummy McGee. Dang.
You both are gonna get it, the Ultimate Edition?
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't know. I didn't play the first State of Decay, so maybe I'll go touch up on that to see if it's like a game I like, and then go from there. But I mean,
yeah, because you got Game Pass.
I'll do it on Game Pass first, to be honest with you. So, and then I'll make my decision from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get to play it that weekend before it comes out if you get the Ultimate one.
I wonder if they're gonna have a beta. Did they mention that at all?
They didn't mention that.
No beta. No beta.
No beta.
No.
Which might both good in their favor.
Pred, you are getting spoiled with the betas, man. You can't get a beta for every game.
You can't live off of betas, Pred. Come on now.
I can, man. It's a good judge right there, man. If you enjoy the beta, then you're probably gonna enjoy the game. So if I get a beta for free, yeah, I'll do that shit first. That way I can get some gameplay footage for the next podcast and actually win for a change.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, man, 1%. Was it 1%, man?
35%, 33%.
Yeah, dude. I was like, this is so neck and neck, man. That's crazy. People were probably like, "What are these guys talking about?" We were just talking about, if you guys, a little podcast over there, called The Next Podcast, every Saturday. Go check it out. It's got
a little bit of production value. We actually have gameplay going on, and people can vote for the gameplay at the end of the show on Twitter to see who had the best gameplay on that show for Saturday.
Right, exactly. But any other thoughts on the topics of this evening, fellas, before we get out of here? Alrighty, so IcedTivo, tell them where they can find you, man, and
just Xbox Live for now. I do have something cooking up with Blue on her channel. I might start a little show, so look out for that. But yeah, mostly just playing my games.
Nice, man, nice. Xbot, where can they find you, dude?
You can find me on my YouTube channel. I'm actually doing a giveaway now, and it's nice. multiple winners. Like, all you have to do is go over to my YouTube channel. It's Xbot448 and hit that sub button and hit that bell button, because I am giving away true inner happiness. And when you do those two things, you'll feel this warmness on the inside of your chest. That is the true inner happiness kicking in. And you will love it, and you will be hooked on it, man. I do have to say, shout out to IcedTivo. This is the first time talking to him. It's been an absolute blast, dude. I'm glad we're following each other on Twitter now, and I hate to do this on the show, but hopefully you could come on next sometimes and talk games with us, man.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you. Oh, yeah. Let me know.
Dark's good at picking talent, man. I'm saying
that's why I wanted to bring you in tonight, Bot, because I want to get Tivo out there, man. I want to get him out there.
Anybody who studies psychology and everything like that is cool with me, because that's like, it's something I do in my spare time. Like, I didn't go to school for it, but I'll study it in my spare time. So that's already right there. That is something I'm like, oh hell yeah, this guy's awesome.
Thanks.
Fred, where can they find you, dude?
Predator_H2OS, pretty much on all 3 systems, and that includes Steam. No, I say 3 systems. I don't count the Switch as a system. That's a handheld. That's a jab at Xbox right there. Hey, if it was a console, it would have came with a controller. That's what I'm saying.
Dang, that's a low blow.
Predator_H2S on Xbox, on Switch, on Steam. My not Switch, Jesus Christ, Xbox, PlayStation 4, and Steam. I also have a Switch. I don't play it online that often, but all my information is right there on Twitter. Predator_H2S on there. Next podcast on Saturdays, and every other podcast you can find me in chat or on it. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, definitely, man. Huge shout out to our family members, the original panel, the panel that decided they couldn't be here tonight,
I heard
99.
I heard Remix got sick from that yak milk that the Don actually sent him.
And, Don, I keep telling him to stop doing that, and he just keeps doing it, dude. But yeah, Remix Essence, Yukon, he had to dip out early. He had some stuff going on, so huge shout out to those guys. And I want to give a huge shout out to Fastback, who subscribed to us this evening. It's awesome, dude. Absolutely appreciate it. If you guys like our show, definitely hit that like and subscribe button, man, because we do appreciate it. And I was your host for the evening, Dark Onimus. You guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Onimus. You can also find me on Xbox Live at the same name. You can also check me out every Saturday on the next podcast at 9 p.m. Nope, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and you guys can always find me here too, hanging out with
I thought you were trying to change the time on us, man. I'm like,
I know, man. I was trying to make it later, trying to make.
I try to tell you, no matter how late we make it, K Mega or the Don is going to be late every time.
That's true. That's true, man. But all right, everyone, have a good night.